thought about it.
I want to keep it clean. You know, I don't want to get the wrong idea. shared.
The number 2 kid, 152 pounds, 154 years, he kept you.
Who's number 1?
It ain't him. But my point is, if he's number 2, I can fly the damn station. All right?
I wish we'd have been 154.
Kid from Weaver, the sophomore, is number 1.
Kid from Weber.
Let me go ahead and tell you. Look at the 5 and 6 A. Tell me how many sophomores you see in the top 10. Not
many.
number 1.
Yeah, not many. We would be, if we were in 1 through 4A, we would be loaded this year. I'm not sure that we could have won 1 through 4. We're stacked. 5A, 6A stacked.
Okay, so the 7A kids don't know anything to do. That's why it's 5 and 6A put together.
I looked at 106, 7A, and 3 out of the top 10 Masons beat
That's my
in
point.
7A. 3 out of the top 10 Masons beaten in youth in 7A
Look,
in 106.
I'm telling you, it's ridiculous. You hear me? It's absolutely ridiculous.
You got Kyle Vines, who's ranked number 2. Mason's beating him. Now he's beating Mason too. They're tied, I think, right now. Bradley Williams, I don't know if you remember him, but he wrestled in U too. He's in the 7th grade this year. He's ranked number 1, dude. And in youth, he would the first 2 or 3 years he wrestled, he was over in youth, and he's ranked number 1. But now he's a kid that kind of did like the dude from the kid that's so good from Moody.
Land.
Yeah, Corey Lane. He dedicated himself to it.
What size singlet they give you tonight?
Oh, they ain't give me none. I got mine from home.
Did you? What size is that? Large? You get in your car?
It's a medium, but it's not the same as my one last year.
I was going to say, I thought you wore small. Hey, you can get them out.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to buck you up.
So fat body.
But look, do it the third period. Wrestle a while, please. Please. All right?
I'm not giving no guarantees. So
I'm just telling you, wrestle a while. You need to use your hands.
if I take him, I take him. I'm just gonna let you know.
No, don't take him. Just
I love that.
get the pin in the third period.
It'll be one of the first tucks I ever get. Put it that way.
Wrestle a while. Wrestle a while. Nothing stupid. Come out hard, move forward. Club, move forward. Hey, work your shot. See if you can hit the blast double one time. Make it a crowd pleaser. All right? Seriously. If you don't hit the blast double, hit the grind.
I planned it.
Huh?
Let's go on the shot.
Hit it. I'm being serious. Hit it tomorrow. Go on and do it, man.
And then there's another kid in 7A that's never beaten Mason. He's ranked in the top 10. So in 106 and
But he's
7A,
basically 7.
I'm serious. In 106 and 7A, dude, everybody that's ranked in the top 10 is either a 7th grader or an 8th grader.
I tell you what, that ain't true in 5 and 6.
5 and 6A 106 is loaded.
Let me tell you something. Go to 13 and go to 20, all 3 of them.
Because
I mean, loaded.
they some freakish athletes in 106 and 120. 5A, 6A.
Get them out there warming up, Mason. Let's go.
Let me try my shoe first.
Hurry up. Let's go. We tired of waiting.
Once they start warming up, we can get ready because they'll have about 10 or 15
Hurry
minutes
up. Call
before
them out
they
there. Come on.
start wrestling.
I want to see some high flying. Hey.
Where's the stone?
What? I ain't got no idea what you were about starting for. You
Man,
need
I
to
can
get ready to
tell- I can
wrestle.
tape
You're
your
about the damn train.
I hadn't seen stuff.
I ain't in it.
But yeah, not yet.
Damn the train. Mason. Check,
Gone.
check. 1, 2.
Just appeared. This went dead right here. It just went dead.
Hold on. No, you got power. It shows it's being red.
Yeah, don't touch that.
All right.
Everything's working but this.
Just went out.
All right, hang on. Let me try something.
Technical difficulties.
All right, keep it fair. Keep it fair. Keep it fair.
This cord's dead.
Get it back on.
Yeah.
Got a man.
You just gonna have one side.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
only got one side.
Don't
You
worry
only
about
have
that.
One. You might have to replace you.
No, this is a different setup. It's just the way it is with this. It'll be fine.
I lost it. Did you turn it down or something?
No.
I lost it altogether.
All right, I'm starting to get you guys.
Test, test. Can you hear me, Mark?
Barely.
Yeah.
How about now, boys?
I can hear you a little bit.
All right, I got you a little bit too, Philip.
Ready?
We ready?
Here we are at Tallassee High School. It's senior night for the Tallassee wrestling program as the Tigers hit the mats with a limited crowd, but we got live video for you from Tallassee Times TV and Tiger Nation. Michael Butler with Philip Nelson, Mark Bell. And it's good to be back out today. We're minus the head coach. Coach John Mask is not with us, but the wrestling team is going to have a senior night here tonight as planned. And I think I enjoyed probably watching Mark coach his boys, one of them a senior, before we even got started tonight. You said, let's let this last a little while at least. Come on, give us 3 minutes or something, you know. So it's good to see him back out there, Mark. He's missed his senior season basically with injury.
It's been a rough year, Michael, in the Bell household anyway. You know, you compound that with the Rona going on, and things have not been terribly comfortable, I can tell you.
Well, you know, I'm like Michael. It's good to see Mason out here tonight because I had the privilege to coach Mason in youth and get to see him grow up. And it's hard to believe he's a senior now. Mark.
Well, I'm going to tell you something, boys. Y'all got him coming right behind him. You're going to blink twice, and it's going to be over.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got one in the 8th grade right now that's on the wrestling team, and you know, in just a short minute, we're going to look up, and they're going to be seniors.
That's my point right
And
there.
so,
that is my point.
Yeah, so it's good to see these seniors, you know, like Ethan Stevenson, we got a chance to coach him. Lackey, we got the chance to coach him, and we coached Trace, too, when they was all in youth. And so each one of these 4 seniors, they're special to us. We got to coach them. Looking forward to watching them tonight, their last match here as a home Tiger for the Tallassee Tigers. Before.
Well, and look, and I got to tell you, I expect them to go out with a bang tonight, Philip.
Oh yeah.
They, you know, for the most part, when you take a group of kids that are used to wrestling 40 to 50 times a year, and you cut them back to 15.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and break the news to you. When they get a chance to get on the mat, they're going to want to show out.
Right. And, you know, and you brought up a good point a while ago with the coronavirus and everything that's going on, Mark. It's been a hard year. And we've had so many lapses during the season and breaks during the season due to coronavirus. And as Michael mentioned, Coach Mass is not with us tonight. Coach Highland's not with us tonight, 2 of our coaches, of course, our head coach. And so it's been rough. And, you know, and when you look at Reeltown and Beulah right now, they're down to like 6 on one team and 7 on another. So they've been hit hard also. And every team we faced, even when we went to regionals back, you know, a couple of weeks ago, teams were hit extremely hard with the coronavirus. And so it's been hard to piece together a season. But it's not just us; it's everybody.
Well,
you know, it's affecting all of us.
And I got to comment on something. So many of the states around us, above us, and well, for that matter, throughout the United States, have just chosen to put the hatchet to it. You with me?
Yeah.
And cut it all off. And look, and for what it's worth, guys, we have to stand up and salute the AHSAA for a lot of things. And look, and these guys have decided that we're going to put some teams on the field. We're going to have competition. We're even going to have championship competition. And,
right.
And with that being said, man, I'm very grateful.
Sure.
Especially being the parent of a senior that ouch, I don't know if that was a dump truck backing up, fixing to roll over, so quite what it was, but
that hurt my ears though.
Yeah. Apparently something happened.
Right. But yeah, you're right. You know, it's good for these seniors because everybody else that's not a senior, they get to come back again next year.
That's
you know,
right.
This season's been an interruption, and so you know there's still some uncertainty. You mentioned championship play for wrestling. They are going to have a state. As of today, they're not going to have a sectional like they normally do, where they have a south sectional and a north sectional, and there's still some details being worked out there. So we won't go too far into the woods with that, but. They are trying to have something, so especially these kids that are seniors, you know, so that they can have some championship abilities and to go to state this year and to let them have one final hoorah.
Well, and that goes back to where we started this thing with the hats off to the AHSAA.
Right.
I mean, they limped through it with the football season, and you know, from the people that I talked to, the general consensus was the minute that that football was over, they were going to pull the plug on the whole deal. Well, let me tell you something, they didn't do that.
Yeah.
And for that I'm grateful, and you know, I want to speak something. I want to go back to your comment about the championship tournaments. You know, the sectionals tournaments, the North and South sectionals, have always been the qualifying tournaments to make the state tournament. That's correct. Right. And you know, and I don't know that it's ever happened before where we haven't had sectionals tournaments, but from what I understand, they're going to, instead of it being a 16-man bracket at the state tournament, in other words, 8 from the south, 8 from the north, from what I understand, they're going to
increase the brackets.
That's right. At the 5 and 6A level, they're going to go to a 32-man bracket and bring them all in. Now, they won't bring whole teams,
right?
But and of course there'll be limited, you know, limited guys coming in the gymnasiums and whatnot. But at the end of the day, they're still going to have a state tournament, and for that we need to be grateful.
Absolutely, there's no doubt about it. And looking forward to it, of course. You know, I always enjoyed going to sectionals down in Montgomery. You know, I've been every year since probably Mason started wrestling when he was 5 years old. I always took that Friday off and that Saturday and would go down there and watch our Tallassee team wrestle and cheer on our boys and Coach Mass and them. And I'm going to miss that this year, you know, because I look so forward to us being down there as a group. We always sit together, you know, as a family and pull on and cheer for our kids. And we're, you know, unfortunately that's kind of been taken away from us, but it is what it is.
You know, I bumped into Miss Baker tonight out there policing the people getting to come in and whatnot and taking up tickets and that kind of thing. And, of course, we've got a relatively slim crowd because of the lower numbers, but I bumped into Miss Baker. And I said, so, look, I got to ask you the truth. And Miss Baker, for those of y'all that don't know, she put 3 kids through the Tallassee wrestling program. 2 of them won state championships. One of them, I think, competed 2 or 3 times.
And was in the finals.
Yeah,
a couple of times.
But I asked her. I said, "Do you miss it?" And she said, "Oh my gosh." She said, "I miss it so bad." I said, "What do you miss?" She said, "I miss my wrestling family." And I thought, you know what? That's what this group is. I mean, you call it any way you want to, but these guys get to travel some, and it's a relatively small group, and
right.
You know, you just get to know the parents, you get to know the kids, you get to know everybody involved in it.
And for you guys, y'all been doing it pretty much since your kids were barely old enough to walk. They're crawling on the mats out there.
5 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to mention that, you know, the team has really been on a roll. I know we haven't been on the wrestling mat since the 19th, But since that state duel, Tallassee was eliminated by Benjamin Russell. But they have, we're 4-3. They have won 8 straight matches. Is where they are right now coming into tonight. So they've been kind of hot. And I guess if the postseason's right around the corner, that's a good thing, isn't it?
Well, I mean, you look down our roster, I think you've got, and I'm speaking realistically, I think you've got 6 guys.
Out of 14 weight classes.
6 or 7 guys that are going to be in Huntsville at the state meet. And I compare that to previous years. The most I ever remember was 9. And the least I ever remember was 3 or 4.
Right.
So I would say that we're hitting the medium margin somewhere right in the middle.
And that's a good thing. Of course, in order to be able to win state at the individual tournament, as what we are accustomed to calling it, because now they're doing a duals championship. In order to win a state championship at the individual one, it's all about points. Each wrestler's got to score points, and so you need 9 or 10, 11 there in order to score a bunch of points to, get deep in the tournament and have a chance to win an overall title.
And I want to speak to that real quick. We were sitting here visiting earlier, and we were just talking about teams that stuck out in our mind, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other. And a guy that knows nothing about wrestling, Michael, and Michael, I'm not picking on you, but Michael even made the statement. He looks down the list and you see these Gardendale kids. You see 3 or 4 different names from different schools, but they've got 6, 8, 9, 10 kids. Out of the 14 weight classes, they've got 75, 80% of these kids ranked in the top 10.
Exactly.
And that's for us to go and win a state championship is a tall order.
Sure.
That's just all I can tell you.
And Mark brings up Gardendale, and they were the ones that won the dual championship this year for 5A, 6A, and so they're certainly the favorites going into the individual tournament this year to win that one also, because they'll carry out of the 14 weight classes. I'm going to guess they're going to have 9 or 10 there, probably.
I would agree with that. I would think they probably would.
And so that's going to give them a big, heads up, a big lead going in, just having the numbers, the sheer numbers there. So.
And I know we talked about the breakdown this year. Of course, we mentioned the classification change. Tallassee be 5A and 6A. It's definitely going to be tougher. You have to admit that. As far as the breakdown for tonight, Tallassee Beulah will wrestle first, then Beulah Reeltown, and then Tallassee Reeltown to wrap it up. There will be senior night festivities between the matches, and we do have 4 seniors on this squad. So
we do. We got 4. Mark Bell's son, Mason Bell, which is one of our team captains, and has been a leader on this team for a while now. And he's certainly one that everybody looks up to. Then you got Ethan Stevenson. We used to call him Superman, if you remember back in youth sports in youth wrestling, when he wrestled for us back in those days. Then you got Trace Ledbetter, who wrestled in the youth. That's a senior this year. And then Will Lackey. And so each one of these young men.
All of those kids came out of the youth program.
All 4 of them.
Every one of them, yeah.
All 4 of them did. And so to see them wrestling as seniors, it's cool. It's cool to me to be able to. Because when Mason came in at 5, Mason and Land, at 5 years old, these kids were 11 and 12. And so they were finishing out their last 2 years when Mason and Land came in as 5-year-olds. And so they were kind of the leaders of our team then, and now we look up and here they're the leaders of the team again. And so, you just like to see that. You like to see them to be able to do that and to finish out and finish their wrestling career. So.
And of course I've told you all this before. I'm not a University of Alabama fan, and of course I'm gonna chunk rocks at Michael and everybody else that hollers Roll Tide. But at the same time, you look at Saban and what he's done right. His seniors lead his group.
Exactly.
And you look at this group, and I think if you went down the win-loss records of our team, you would see much the same. So my point is, I elect John Mask as the next University of Alabama head coach. How's that?
I don't think he'll coach there. He's an Auburn fan.
You don't think so?
No, I think he'd rather coach at Auburn.
And hello to Coach Mask. I know he's watching on the Tallassee
Yes.
Times TV and Tiger
He's not
Nation
here.
feeds tonight through YouTube. Man, we are missing him, Coach Howling as well, and at least we're wrestling, like you guys said. It's good to be out here as the captains are meeting right now as we get just about ready to get started here in a minute. So
Yeah, do you know the name of the captain for
Yeah,
Beulah?
that's Blaine Hines. And look, let me give you some stats on this kid. He's a tough kid. He's a 152 pounder out of Beulah, and look, he is ranked second.
in 1 through 4A.
And that's right, in 1 through 4A. So he's a tough kid. I know that Mason Bell has wrestled him over the past few years. They were the same weight class. Mason Bell is chunked up a little bit this year, so
You've been feeding him good.
yeah,
cornbread.
obviously. But no, he's really a tough kid. He really is.
Right. And y'all will have to bear with us tonight. Like we mentioned a while ago, each one of the teams, Reeltown and Beulah both, and it's not a knock against them. They're having some issues with numbers right now, and so
Well, and some of
We
it's
gonna
got
have-
to do. Some of it's got to do with the Rona as well. Phil.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Some of it's got to do with the coronavirus, and so we're gonna have a lot of forfeits tonight.
Yep.
But we're hoping to get some good matches in here between the two schools. So
I think we'll see some spirited matches for the night side. I really do.
looking forward to it. Not sure which weight class we're going to start with, Mark.
132, Coach. There you have
132.
it.
There you have it.
You know, we're not supposed to say that John Steineker's on the floor, so I won't say that. He said, "Don't say anything about me tonight."
The kid we're fixing to get from
can't say nothing about
from
Coach
Beulah is
Steineker.
Daniel Darnell. He's an 8th grader. He's apparently this is his first year wrestling.
Okay.
So-
Coach Mass sent us a text. I think he sent it to all of us and said this is the first match he's missed in 21 years.
Boy, good
And-
run there, Coach.
And he said,
Well, you're not missing it. You're able
getting
to
to
watch
watch
it.
it.
Yes, sir.
You're
just not here. You're
just
here in
not here in the
spirit, right?
flesh.
Yeah.
Well, we miss you, dude, and we love you, man. Hate you not here. So, and wishing you a speedy recovery. But program's in good hands. We got Coach Cookie here with us, and Coach Tanton's here with us tonight too, helping to coach. And so we thank them. And we brought Steineker back as a referee. I see. We ain't seen him out here reffing in a while.
He told me, I think he said 12 years.
Really?
It's been a long. I couldn't believe it'd been that long.
Well,
I didn't realize
Russell
it that
Phillips just drew a forfeit, boys. Russell's a junior with Tallassee, and his record's 10-3 on the year, and he's had quite. And by the
He's
way,
done good this year.
that's one of the kids that's ranked in that top 30 group that should stand a chance to make state.
Yeah, well, good. And we got Caden Griffin coming up for Tallassee right here. He's a
sophomore.
He's
Yes.
a sophomore this year. So
And he's got about a 500 record. Let me see if I can give you some stats on the kid from
Beulah.
Yeah, on the kid from Beulah.
Caden's one of our guys. He didn't start wrestling until he got into the JV ranks. So he did not wrestle in youth, but this young man's come on a lot over the last couple of years and getting better every year. And he certainly we will be leaning on a lot next year because he'll be kind of considered an upperclassman next year as an 11th grader.
That's exactly right.
So
The young man from Beulah, and I just about had it pulled up, and my computer crashed over here, man.
okay, we'll blame the computer.
That's what we'll need to do.
So this is the 138-pound weight
This
class
is
right
138,
here. So
and Griffith's got a front headlock right there.
yeah, he's trying to work a takedown right here from a front headlock, and now he's going into a cow catcher, trying to get a quick pin right here and some back points. So we should have had 2 points right there for a takedown, and now we're getting 3 back points out of this deal. So
The kid from Beulah is Rasheek Morris. He's a senior, and his record is 7-2 on the year.
got a good record.
Yes, sir. It looks like our young Griffith kid is
Doing
getting
good.
after. Oh, there we go.
That's a good job by
Yes, sir.
Caden Griffith right there. He got the pin, so that's a 6-point victory for us. Kind of just to break down the pointing system. You get 3 points, Mark, right? For just a regular
for a
win
regular
on
win.
points.
You get 4 points for a major decision, which is by 8, and you get 5 for a tech, which is 15 or better.
And then you get 6 for a pin.
That's correct.
So we got a forfeit there for the 145.
That's 145. Christian McCary walked out that took the forfeit.
And he's a freshman.
That's exactly right. He's a freshman.
And
You got Will Lackey coming out next against the Hines kid from Beulah.
And it's a senior here.
And this is
Yeah,
one of
this
our
is
seniors.
senior on senior,
and
guys.
18-0, by the way, in
That's
case
right.
you're keeping score.
This is senior on senior right here. This ought to be a spirited match, gentlemen.
Right.
Both these guys right here are seasoned wrestlers, Philip.
Yes, they are.
Both of them have years of experience on the mat, and looks like both of them. Neither one of them are going to make a mistake early to get down.
No, they're both trying to work some collar ties and things like that to try to get in, to get a shot or some kind of takedown, whether it be from a headlock position or a single leg or a double leg or something like that. The Hines kid got in on a double
Yes,
leg
sir.
right
He
there.
sure did. That was a fine takedown right there, Philip.
So,
Fine takedown. Fine takedown.
and we mentioned this earlier, the Hines kid from Beulah, he's ranked number 2 right now
Yes.
currently in 1 through 4A.
He is the
So,
second-ranked wrestler in 1 through 4A.
What's his record on the year? Did you ever get him pulled back up?
Yeah, he's like 15-1.
15-1.
Yes, and Lackey is 6-4 on the year, and believe it or not, Lackey's one of those kids that's on the cusp of making the state tournament as well. A good showing here would go a long way for him.
Yes, it would. Anytime you can, when you're wrestling, and most especially in the situation that we're in this year where kids are having to be ranked based off of your record, anytime you can pull a win against a ranked kid, even if it's 1 through 4A or a 7A kid, if you can pull a win against a ranked kid, no matter the division,
Well-
it helps you score quality points for your seeding purposes
Well,
and stuff.
unlike most other team sports, wrestling is interesting from the standpoint of most of your wins and losses are, oh wow, what a great move.
That was a good move by
right
Lackey.
there.
Yeah,
Wow, what a great move. He rolled straight through that headlock.
he did. The kid had him in a headlock, and
Yep.
Will kind of hooked almost like a fireman's carry mark, and then kind of rolled through it and come out the back side of it. And now Will's fighting to stay on top right here. Will
Uh-oh.
got a little bit too high.
Yep, he sure did. Got his hip, did not clear his hip. Oh, goodness.
Oh, man. Short time, 1 second left.
1 second.
Will got pinned. Will got caught a little bit high right there, and the Hines young man rode him through in a headlock.
Look, and for you guys out there in TV land and radio land that don't know much about wrestling, I can clear it up real quick for you. If you're on your knees, you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And if your hips aren't square to the mat and aren't sucked in tight to your opponent's hips, you're wrong.
Right.
And it's fixing to cost you something.
So 160-pound weight class, we got us a forfeit. And then here comes another one of our seniors, Mason Bell. And so, and this is
First
actually
action of the season, correct?
actually Mason's first live
Actually,
match
yes.
of the season. So
Mason, he's wrestling up a weight class. I think, is this 70 or 82, Philip? I'm not.
this
I'm
might
not
be
sure.
82 because I think DeBarta Layden's 70.
Yes, I think you're right.
So Mason with the first takedown right here and trying to work a inside cradle.
Stepped over through the legs. Looks like Mason's kind of taking his time right now.
He
I
was
think-
coached to do that, wasn't he?
Somebody coached him to do that tonight.
well,
I can't
either-
remember who it was.
Either that, guys, or he's not in shape enough to go hard. What do y'all think? Uh-oh, he's got a leg.
So much for
cradle.
that.
So much for that.
He didn't listen to his coach.
He gave you a few more seconds.
Look,
you asked for a
look,
few, didn't you?
He
So-
right here.
So Mason Bell, senior, win
Yep.
on the night, so that was good.
Yep,
Here's another
That-
one of our seniors, Ethan Stevenson.
that was 170 right there.
That was 170.
That was 170.
Okay.
As a matter of fact,
All right.
just cleared this up. We've got 182.
And then
coming up
195
now.
next.
Yep, that's correct.
So Ethan Stevenson, he's another young man that won him a state championship down in the youth ranks back in the day, and here he is wrestling on senior night. Good to see him.
great to have the seniors. I'm telling
Absolutely, man. That's where you build your team. You got to build your team around your seniors, and each one of these kids are good men, and good to see them out here wrestling.
you. Well, the thing I can tell you about these seniors, I'm unaware of any issues that Coach Mask has had with any of them this year.
Right?
And they've done what's expected of them.
Right. They wrestle hard, and
That was a nice takedown by
Ethan.
By Ethan right there, Phillip. And look at his hips, good and tight.
You mentioned that a while ago. You know, wrestling's it's a sport where you have to have a lot of body control.
You certainly do.
And you have to learn early in your career how important your hips are in wrestling.
Well, I'll say it again. If you can stay off your knees and keep tight hips,
You can win some matches.
That's right. You can win some matches.
And right here, Ethan's basically got an arm bar trying to flatten him back out to run some kind of pinning combination. There's so many pinning combinations from the arm bar once you get them flattened back out. But
well, and the other thing Ethan's doing is he's giving his opponent a chance to wear down.
right.
Being on bottom, of course, is always requires more energy than being on top.
And it does. And I'm not sure about your land, but my mason will tell you it's demoralizing when you're on bottom and you can't get up.
What a nice cradle Ethan just rolled.
Yep, he's
in.
got a nice, pretty cradle right there.
Oh, wow.
Good job.
Great
by
pin
Ethan
by
Stevenson.
Ethan. That was a fabulous pin. What a wonderful job. I think we got another senior coming up here.
Yeah. We got Trace Ledbetter coming up.
That's exactly right.
195.
Yep.
And John said the young man from Beulah's last name was Sellers, I believe his name was.
Let me see if I can get you some.
And John says he's a pretty good wrestler. So
Let's see if I can get you any information on him real quick here.
now, Trace is one you never have to coach being aggressive in a match. Mark will attest to that.
Yes.
We coached him in youth, and
No.
Trace Ledbetter is going to give you everything in his body that he can possibly give you, and he's going to go 110% always, and that's just the way he wrestles.
Now, judging from the lineup, I've got this kid is Joshua Gerald. He's a freshman from Beulah, and I don't know if the lineup card.
The guy that Ethan beat last name I think was Sellers.
I got you.
And so,
Yeah, Jacob Sellers at 82. Wow, what a quick pin by Trace.
good to see our seniors going out on a high note right
Boy,
here.
our seniors all got a match too, didn't they?
Yep, and that's good.
Yep.
That's good that they all got a match.
That's right. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that Beulah will forfeit at the
220 and 285.
and 285 classifications.
And so that's basically going to wind up the match between, does Beulah have a 106 or lighter weight class?
I think they've got a 13, if I'm not mistaken.
13 or a 20?
No, they've got a 20 or a 26.
Oh, okay.
So
we're going to get a forfeit with
our 220
and 285.
Yep.
Looks like 106 is going to get a forfeit.
Yep. 13, I believe, is going to get a forfeit. Yep. There's our heavy, 285.
And so our 106, Rutland Phillips is getting
Rutland Phillips will get a forfeit.
Mason Ledbetter is about to get a forfeit.
Yep.
We got too many Masons on the team. We're going to have to change up some names.
And look.
And then Land Bell is 120.
He's fixing to get a forfeit.
He's getting a forfeit.
So
And then 126, Ethan Jones will be our 126 guy.
Another one,
ninth grader.
Another ninth grader and another youth wrestler.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Been coaching Ethan a long time.
That's right.
Me and his dad was one of the coaches for the youth, and so I've coached Ethan a whole lot in his lifetime.
Yep. The kid he's got from Beulah is Hood, Jason Hood.
That was a good double leg takedown
That
by
was a
Ethan.
good double leg.
And Ethan looks like, well, now he's back out to a front headlock,
Yep.
but now he's working on what we call a cow catcher.
He's
He's trying to take the steam out of the young man.
Well, the Hood kid from Beulah doesn't want to give it up.
No. but we are up 2-0 right now with
Yep.
a minute 19 to go in the first period.
That's right.
And in high school ranks, you wrestle 3 2-minute periods if it makes it that long.
Ethan is
He's got him a cow
got,
catcher.
yeah, he's got that back arm and got him in a cow catcher. It looks like this thing is fixing to be a done deal.
You know what's funny about this
There it
move?
is.
We call it a cow catcher in the South. Out Midwest, it's called a cement mixer.
A cement mixer.
Mhm.
There you go.
So, because
Well, they must pour a lot of cement in the Midwest.
yeah, I remember some coaches that have wrestled, in other places in college, and calling it a cement mixer. And I'm like, no, that's a cow catcher.
Well,
So-
look, it's just terminology, Philip. That's
Right.
all you can say.
We call, I guess, because we down here rolling cows or something. I don't know.
Obviously so.
Tipping cows. So now we're going to have a little bit of a break right here, and we're going to have senior night. We're going to have a little break from the action as far as the wrestling matches, and we're about to do senior night, and our plans are to get these 4 seniors over here and get a word from each one of them, get a word from the coach.
Man, I'd love to visit with them. That
Yeah,
would be
absolutely.
fun.
72-6, by the way, was the final on that Beulah win.
Awesome.
Pretty dominant.
Coach Josh Highland said congratulations on the win. Good to see Coach Highland live streaming tonight. We thank him for being on and wish him well also. He's got a young man that wrestles in youth right now.
He sure does, doesn't he?
And, they're preparing and getting ready for their youth state championships coming up
Yep.
here. I think they have their regional tournaments coming up this weekend.
Yep.
And they've had to have, while we're waiting on our seniors to get down here, they've kind of had to do a little bit of change up, even in the youth ranks. We've talked about the high school ranks. Used to, it wasn't really like this, but this year, for seeding purposes, they're going to have 4 different regions in the state, to where they're going to try to spread them all out to get the wrestling in, and then they'll seed them for the state tournament. So,
Yep.
and those are this weekend, and so good luck to all, because Tallassee still got a youth program, and good luck to all the men in the purple and gold this weekend wrestling in the regions.
Well, I can see our seniors lining up in the back.
We've actually got a couple of young men this year in youth that's going to have a shot at a state championship this year. So
Well, I hope we win them all, Philip.
I always do, man.
I don't know how many we got, but I hope we win every one of them.
Every single one of them.
I'm going to stand up real quick, guys.
Go ahead, man.
Because my senior is fixing to walk
Go
out here.
ahead.
So
We'll turn your mic down.
Thank you.
All right, this time we'll go ahead and get started with recognizing our seniors. Our first senior tonight is Trace Ledbetter. Give him a round of applause. Trace is 12-2 on the year and has led the team to an 11-3 record so far. 12-3 now. Thank you, Trace, for all your dedication and hard work. Our next senior is Ethan Stevenson. Ethan is 13-1 on the year and has led the team to an 11-3 record. 12-3 now. Ethan was voted to the all-region team this year at the region duels. Thank you, Ethan, for all your dedication and hard work. Let's give it up for Ethan. Our next senior is Will Lackey. Will is a 6-year wrestling letterman. Will is 6-4 on the season and has won 65 matches here at Tallassee High School. Thank you, Will. Let's give it up for Will. Our last senior is Mason Bell. Mason is a 5-year letterman. He is 4-0 on the season Mason also holds the school record for wins in a season at 59. And he's also a 3-time state qualifier and state placer. This senior class has led Tallassee to a combined record of 185 wins and 37 losses. Most of those losses are to out-of-state teams. Wrestlers, thank you so much for your hard work and dedication to the THS wrestling team and to also to Tallassee High School. We love you and appreciate you. Thank you.
For everybody listening, that was Coach Chet Stewart, the principal here at Tallassee High School, introducing our seniors on senior night tonight, and you heard the records there if you're watching online, and some pretty impressive stats by some of these young men, and so these guys have been wrestling a long time, and the thing about it is they set the bar high, and for the number of team wins that they have for this group coming up, tall order. And so it's going to be interesting over the next several years to see if we can have some seniors that are in the younger classes to top their record. So
it is amazing what this wrestling program's done over the past few decades, for sure.
Yes, Coach Mass has certainly done an exceptional job coaching these young men over the years. And when you look around the gym, Michael, I know Coach Bell's out enjoying senior night with his son, and rightfully so, but it started all the way back with our individual state champions with back in 1997 with Brian Freeman and Brandon Redden were the two first state champions in 1997. And it's just kind of built from there. And Tallassee does have our overall state championship, and certainly proud of that, and for a team championship. And so this program has been on solid footing for a long time.
And it's going to continue. I mean,
Yeah.
there's no reason why it won't. It's been the top program at Tallassee for that period. I mean, consistently, you have to mention that. I mean, as far as athletics go, just year in, year out, you can count on this program being one of the best in the state.
Right.
It's just been that way for a long time.
And it has. And, and Coach Mass has done a wonderful job, and we mentioned each one of these young men tonight. Wrestled in the youth sport, which has helped feed some of the program for Coach Mass over the years also. And he's got a lot of young men on this team that are starting, that are 7th graders, 8th graders, 9th graders, a couple of 10th graders sprinkled in, and a couple of 11th graders sprinkled in. So this team is extremely young, Michael, basically in wrestling years, because most of your teams like a Gardendale, who just won the duals championship, the overall, the team duals championship, if you look at their roster, they're probably going to be pretty heavily dominated by juniors and seniors on that team, with some sophomores sprinkled in, and maybe, an outlier, 8th or 9th grader in there also. And so Tallassee's really young this year. And so the future is bright, because a lot of these young kids should have a chance, even with the drawing system that they're doing this year, to go to state. And even if we would have had sectionals, they would have been able to wrestle their way into state, because they got a lot of talent coming through. And I'm looking for great things over the next few years from this wrestling program, and hopefully we can keep the tradition rolling and bring home some more state championships.
Yeah, and maybe we could get some of those guys over here. We've got Beulah and Reeltown about to wrestle, and, of course, Tallassee will wrestle Reeltown in the end.
Right.
Yeah, Coach Stewart saying there's a lot of famous people here tonight.
Oh, he is?
Is he talking about you?
I guess he's talking about me and you.
Oh,
I guess.
I didn't realize that.
Are we famous?
I don't think so.
We're legends in our own mind, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to try to get some of the seniors over here while Beulah and Reeltown is wrestling, and speak to them real quick. If we can corral them up, we're going to try to talk to Coach Cook tonight also for a brief moment. We've asked him to come on and speak with us about the year, and Coach Mash usually does that, but in his absence, Coach Cook graciously agreed to come and speak with us. And thinking about this wrestling program, me and some of the dads that have kids out here tonight, I'd have to ask Coach Mass, and I know he's listening, maybe he'll text it to me, but the wrestling program started either in 1985 or 1986, when I was either an 8th grader or a freshman. So we were the first class to basically wrestle all 4 years in high school. We've got a couple of guys up here in the stands that wrestle with me, like Dan Gray and Eric Phillips and me and some other guys that wrestled on those initial teams here in Tallassee, Alabama. And to see where the program's come to from then to now, it's just amazing to see and to witness and to watch. And I'm certainly thankful that this legacy has continued. And it's really, Coach Mass says he thinks 1986. I thought that was right too, Coach, because I think I was in the 9th grade when it came. And so, and I'm just going to be honest with you, we took a beating along the way because we didn't know anything about wrestling. The first wrestling match I ever saw, I was in. Kind of like Jerry Clower when he speaks about the first football game he ever saw live, he was in.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I was with wrestling. The first wrestling match I saw, I was in. And so it's good to see where it's come to from those early beginnings in somewhere around 1986. And now we're getting to witness Reeltown and Beulah, and we're still looking for some of these seniors to come over here. They're hugging and kissing the mamas and daddies, and rightfully so, and celebrating with them. And so we're going to give them a few minutes because it certainly is a special night. Michael, you know, I had a senior daughter this year in the band. You got one next year, and it is an emotional time for the families and the kids to know that this is their last home match tonight, and they'll not get to don the purple and gold again in the wrestling gym to be able to wrestle for Tallassee High School at this facility. Now they've got some more matches ahead of them, but they're not here, and so
it is something when you've been doing it
Coach Cook
as long as you have.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, and we mentioned it. Kids start when they're, you know, before they're in school with wrestling, with
Right.
you know, team wrestling, as we've had in Tallassee. And something's been a part of your life, and the time you put in week in, week out. It's not just a seasonal sport either. Like anything these days, you work in the off season to get ready for it.
Oh, yeah. Most of these kids, they wrestle, and that's what they don't realize. Wrestling's basically a year-round sport. They have a lot of what they call off-season tournaments in the summertime where they do different disciplines like Greco-Roman and freestyle. We wrestle folk style in high school, but then they have the other divisions, what they call off-season, where these kids can go and participate in. And you'll see a lot of these kids on the circuit out there practicing and doing those things. And it's quite an amazing sport. And, you know, you heard Mark talk to Miss Baker that works here at the school, and she had 3 boys to come through the program, and she talks about how much she misses it. And it is certainly, it's one I'm not looking forward to coming to an end at no time soon. Hey, go get your dad. Where's he at? See if you can go find him.
We definitely love Mark to be a part of
Yeah,
this.
he
with you,
needs to
but
be a part of your interview. Go get your dad.
Well,
So I don't know. He's around here somewhere.
yeah.
There he is. He's coming back down through here. Hey, Mason, if you will, we're going to let you go out there and stand on the mat and take, yeah.
You're good right there.
We're going to turn Mark's.
Mark, do you want to question your own son and his senior night here tonight? Well, I'll let Philip do it. Philip,
All right.
go ahead.
I'm going to let Mark help me, though. Which one is Mark? Let's turn him back on so we can hear him. He's back on? Okay. Well, Mason, you just wrestled your last home match as a Tallassee Tiger, and we've been talking about it over here. I know you hadn't been able to hear us, but you started youth wrestling at, how old were you when you started, buddy?
I believe it was 8 years old.
8.
I believe it, somewhere in there. I mean, don't take nothing to heart like that, but
Yeah,
it's
so-
roughly 8.
Somewhere around 8 years old, Mason Bell began his wrestling career for Tallassee. And so he's, over the years, including high school and youth, he's probably got somewhere in the neighborhood of 300 to 400 matches under his belt over the years.
You know, I think that's probably accurate, Philip. And you know, Mason, there aren't many things that you and I haven't talked about on a lot of different levels, but I can tell you this. It's pretty impressive for a young man to look back over his career and be 18 years old. And I want you to comment on 188 wins.
For your high school career, that's awesome.
188 wins. I mean, I can tell you what, it takes years of practice on moves. Regardless of even if your favorite move, it takes years of practice to perfect your move. And, I mean, hard work, determination, blood, sweat, and tears even. That's what it takes to win 188 matches, I believe what it was. And even just to wrestle 400, you also have to stay healthy, eat right on top of that, condition on top of that. I mean, it's a real struggle.
I've also got to ask you, how does it feel that, as of today, you're in the history books of the most wins, 59 wins in one season, and you set the school record your junior year? And how does it feel to hold that record as Tallassee's single-season winning record?
I mean, it feels awesome knowing that I beat Andy Baker. He had the old school record for, I believe it was 57. He had 57, the old school record, and I ended up beating it. I ended up tying it my sophomore year. I had a couple injuries due to that year and didn't finish too strong. And then my junior year, I ended up wrestling really good the whole season, and we got a little bit more. We got some more matches, and I won a couple matches that I shouldn't have won. So I ended up getting 60, but I could have got more, but at the end of the season, I ended up getting hurt pretty bad and could barely walk. So,
all in all, you got to say this: it's been a good ride.
It has.
Man, I got to say this: I love you, buddy. I mean, I coached you a lot of matches in your youth career, got to see you and got to witness you grow up into a fine young man, and looking forward to big things from you. And, man, we certainly appreciate all you've done.
So before you go, I got one last little small question, and you're going to laugh about this one. Who's going to beat your 59 match single season win record?
My little brother will completely shatter my record, and if he does not break my record, I will be very disappointed. Actually, I will be very disappointed if Land does not completely shatter my record.
Well, and I'll take it one step further. Phillips' kid may do the same thing too, because
if
either one of them shattered, I hope they keep going for it.
Well, they certainly gonna try. I can tell you, them two are determined to break it, because them two, they certainly are looking forward to many years ahead. Over these next 4 years after this year, so.
Mason, thanks for coming and spending some time with us.
Oh, y'all welcome. Anytime.
Send us another senior.
Good to see you back out here.
Man.
Especially, with a chance maybe to finish like he wants here with his career. And what a career it's been.
Yeah, it's been a good career for Mason. And he had you can't emphasize enough the number of matches in mat time, because I've watched this young man win a lot of matches, but I've also seen him struggle in a lot of matches, just like you have. Just like I've watched my Mason struggling matches, your Land struggling matches, and all these other kids struggling matches. But you got to struggle to win. You just do. You got to struggle to win, because it makes you better. And to see him on the winning side and hopefully going to get a chance at another state title this year, man, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
We've got us another senior fixing to walk up here and visit with us.
Ethan, if you'll step back there on the mat right there, we're going to ask you a few questions. Mark, we'll let you start the questioning.
Ethan Stevenson just joined us. And Ethan, how long have you been wrestling? When did you start?
I started at about 7 or 8, but I quit for a couple. I stopped wrestling for a couple of years, and then I got back into it this year.
Well, that's good. Well, look, let me tell you, it's the other question I've got: have you enjoyed being on part of this team?
Oh yes, sir. It's a blast.
Well, I know I'm glad to see you back, because I remember you in youth.
Yes,
I think your last year of wrestling in youth was like Mason's first year or something like that. And I remember we used to call you Superman. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I figured you would. We used to call him Superman back in.
Because I had the glasses.
Yep, he used to have the Clark Kent glasses.
He wore those Clark. That's exactly where it came.
Yep.
I couldn't remember where it came from.
That's
exactly where it came from.
So,
what happened to the glasses?
I got contacts.
He got older,
Dude,
got contacts.
I might have to whip them back out.
Look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I like the glasses better.
Yes.
Okay. Look. Those were really cool. Have you what are your plans after this after your senior year, Ethan?
I just plan on going to Southern Union or CAC and then go from there. I'm not too sure yet.
Not too sure. Well, how are you looking forward and preparing for hopefully a chance to go to state this year and be one of the top 32 in 5A, 6A to get a crack at a state championship this year?
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to it. we got a lot of work to do.
From what I understand, Ethan, I think you're in line for one of the slides.
So that will be good. You just got to keep winning, man. And certainly we're going to be pulling for you coming up over the next couple of weeks, because I think the state championships are the weekend of around the 18th.
Yes, sir.
And you certainly have put on a good clinic this year, and you've certainly won a lot of matches this year, and congratulations on that, and congratulations on being a senior and coming back out and wrestling your senior year. So that's awesome.
Yes, sir.
Hang on 1 second, Ethan.
All
Let me
right.
check something. By the way, Ethan, you were ranked in the top 20, which at the end of the day means that you would probably get some seeding that would be very beneficial for you from the standpoint of you would wrestle a kid that was probably ranked something lower than you were at the end of this, which means that keeps you in the winner's bracket through day
Yes,
one, and would give you a legitimate shot at making the podium.
Yes, sir.
So we expecting big things at state, man. We'll keep up with you. Since
Yes,
they
sir.
limited seating, they're not going to let us all go this year. But good luck at state, man, if you make it. And we'll be certainly watching track wrestling when it kicks off to see
Yes,
how
sir.
y'all are doing.
Ethan, we appreciate you, and
Yes,
thank
sir,
all
man.
you've done
All
for
right.
Tallassee High School,
Thank you
buddy.
so much.
Thank you, Ethan.
Ethan, if you don't mind, send us another senior.
Send us another senior down this way.
Usually when I see Ethan, he's running around the neighborhood. He's a
he's
track
track
guy
team,
too.
yeah.
He can run. I'm sure that helps with his endurance some
There's
too.
no doubt. There's no doubt that
Coach Mask wanting to let us know, of course, tomorrow night these guys are wrestling again.
wrestling Pike
Move
Road.
that around a little bit. Pike Road and Brew Tech will wrap it up, the last match of the regular season.
Is that's in Pike Road?
He puts versus Brew Tech and Pike Road. I'm going to go with. Is that here?
No,
I
I
have
think
to
it's
look. I have to look at the schedule because the schedule would have it, but it just changed the dates.
I think it's at Pike Road.
Yeah, it says Tallassee on the schedule. So,
Does it?
well, Pike Road and Daphne was the original, and then
Yeah.
we got Brew Tech. So,
Okay.
Trace Ledbetter.
Yes, sir.
Man, we're glad to see you on the mat. And by the way, and I'm going to go ahead and pull your stats up early so we can get you started right now, so we can go ahead and figure out how well you're going to do at state, because we know you're going to be on the podium.
Yes, sir.
Trace, while Coach Bell is looking up your stats and everything, how have you enjoyed coming back this year as a senior and rejoining the Tallassee wrestling team? You took a few years off in there, and now you're back wrestling again. Just like Mason Bell and just like Ethan, I remember you wrestling as a youth kid and got to coach you some along the way with your dad. How does it feel to get back on the mat again?
It honestly feels like a part of me like has been gone for a while. Like I haven't been here in so many years, and then to come back and do it, it's like I love it. And I'm sad that I'm a senior this year and I'm not going to be able to wrestle much longer or anything. But
we certainly glad to see you come back.
Well,
and be a part of our team.
Let me tell you where you can do where you're going to get to wrestle. You're 12-2 on the season, as far as rankings go, and you're ranked in the top 20. All right, which at the end of the day means that you will get a reasonably good seed at state.
I will.
Yes, sir. That's the way it looks. That's the way it looks from the 1,000-foot mark where I sit. But yeah, I think you're looking at a reasonably good seeding at state and a chance to do something.
Well, I hope so.
So when you go up to Huntsville this year, and get to wrestle, soak it all in and enjoy the experience and go up there and represent Tallassee the right way and represent us well. And man, we're so glad that you came back this year. And like I said, we remember you from youth, and then you actually went to Reeltown for a little while. Who's here tonight to wrestle against you? Hope you get a match against him tonight.
Actually, I have a forfeit tonight.
Against
I have a
Reeltown.
forfeit.
You was probably hoping you was gonna get a match.
Matter
didn't
of
you?
fact, if I would have got a match, I would have been wrestling one of my best friends back when I went. He's a senior too.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Cool.
sir.
Well, cool, man.
That's
We
fun.
are excited for you, and we're excited for the Tallassee team. And thank you for coming back, man. You've had a great season this year, 12-2, ranked in the top 20 right now. You can't argue with those results. And so now we're going to grab another senior. Thanks, Trace, for coming by and speaking
Thanks,
to us
sir.
for
Thank
us.
you, Trace.
Appreciate it. We're getting close to the final match, and we got one more senior, so it looks like if we can get Will over here.
Let's see if we
Where's
can
Will
get him
like
over here.
We need Will Lackey. Where's he at? He's coming, I think.
they moved through that Beulah Reeltown pretty quick. They have a lot of guys out, so.
Where's Lackey at? I thought I seen him coming
And
down.
I never did see who won the match.
We might have to pick up Will at the end if he don't get down here. I saw him go down the steps, but now he's disappeared out into the Blue Lagoon somewhere, Mark.
Well, I don't see him, gentlemen.
They're going to warm back up again, it looks like.
So, Michael, back to what you said earlier. You think our match is here tomorrow
It
night?
is. Coach Mass confirmed that we are wrestling here, yes.
Oh, we're wrestling here tomorrow night? Good.
Perfect.
Against, what time is that match tomorrow night? Does it say?
No, it doesn't. I'll wait for his response. So thanks for asking questions we don't have the answer to.
Well, no, I'm glad we are asking so we can tell people what time it starts tomorrow. So we know Coach Mass is listening.
According to the original schedule, just about every match is 5 o'clock. So, 5:15, yeah.
Somewhere in that general
vicinity. He's saying 5:15. And we were supposed to go at 5:15 tonight. I think we're a little late, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started a little late, but, you know.
Our friends from Beulah got sidetracked, I think, getting to us.
Well, it's a long ways from Beulah.
They did.
It certainly
they
is.
They did make it finally, yes.
So we're about to get ready to get started between Reeltown and Tallassee.
And how big is Tallassee Reeltown on the wrestling mats compared to everything else? It's big, isn't it, still?
Anytime you go against your rivalry, it's kind of like Auburn, Alabama. It don't matter what it's in, you want to win.
And let me go ahead and break the news to you, men. If you can compete against your neighbor and beat him, it always carries a little bit of weight.
Every day.
Every day. So how big is it?
It's always big.
That's subjective.
So, certainly, you know, Reeltown's new to the wrestling scene. They only started a few years back.
That's a good point.
And they're trying to build their program. Probably our main rivalry in wrestling is Elmore County. Wouldn't you say so, Mark?
I would think so. Elmore County, Hopeville. You can even probably go as far as to say the Benjamin Russell group. Beauregard.
St. James.
That's St. James. And of course, you know, some of the most spirited matches I've seen over the years coming through with Mason have been the Smith Station matches, believe it or not.
Yeah, Smith Station they carry a pretty big stick, as you would say, when it comes to the wrestling foes of the world.
Look, they do, and they're, you know, big 7A school.
Yep.
And
Coach Sanders over there is a good coach, and so he's a really good coach over there, and always has their program wrestling well.
And I agree with that completely. They've always had and you know, and we've traditionally done very well
against
Smith Station. I don't know why.
Well, you know, this year we started off with a 7A team. We started off with Auburn.
Yeah.
And for the people that, just to show you the difference in numbers, between our JV and varsity, we have, maybe 40 kids tops.
I would agree.
Somewhere in that neighborhood.
I would agree.
You know how many Auburn's got?
I have no idea.
100.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Wrestlers, huh?
100
it's
wrestlers.
Not talking about the football team.
That's wrestlers.
That's big.
They have 100 wrestlers on their roster.
Well, you know, and we haven't touched on this, but we were talking about the new classifications with the 5 and 6A schools being combined together. Yeah, I was shocked to learn that the largest 6A, which is Mountain Brook, has close to 1,100 students.
Well, you know, there was 7A for many years.
Were they really?
Yeah. Well, there's 7A the entire time. You know, when we went to 7 classifications until just this past
just
cycle.
Moved down. Yeah.
Well, I say that. I mean, you take 1,050, 1,075 kids, and then you take the smallest 5A school,
which is us.
Well, we're one of them, but we're in the 370s.
Right.
So you know they're comparatively 3 times larger than we are.
Right. That's correct. And so,
and of course, don't get me wrong. I'll never make an excuse for a win or a loss.
Oh,
but
no.
But at the end of the day,
they have a lot of kids.
Yeah, you would certainly like to have a few more to choose from.
Right. But you know, we've never been scared to wrestle big schools.
No,
like
we
I
have
said,
not.
We've always wrestled Opelika, Smith Station, Auburn. We've always wrestled them, and they're 6A, 7A schools, and Stanhope. So
well. You know, I look back on the kids that have come up in the past 10, 15 years, and you know, and I'll mention Josh Epperson and some of those kids. You know, Josh Epperson had the year where he lost 2 matches in the whole season, and both of them came to out-of-state big school talent. And you know, and one thing that you have to credit our head coach for, Coach Mask, is that it didn't matter what size, didn't matter where you would. If you wanted to wrestle, he would do it in the parking lot.
Exactly. But that's where you got to be. Iron sharpens iron. You got to, if you want to be. Hey, what's the old Ric Flair slogan? If you want to be the best, you got to beat the best.
Glad you worked the Flairism in here tonight.
Got to, man. We're wrestling.
Yeah, you'd better. Yeah, that's good.
Was that Rick? I thought
That
it
was
was
Rick.
if you want to beat a man, you got to beat the man.
Well, that's Ric
Heard
Flair.
that one too. Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
sure
was that
which one.
Dusty Rhodes? That might have been Dusty.
Yeah.
And so
Pike Road, by the way, will, you know, as we mentioned, coming tomorrow night, as Coach Mass let us know, and Brute Tech. We originally had Daphne on the schedule, but they weren't able to come. But Coach Mask, who's paying attention, letting us know that Pike Road is, you know, region champ, and they're going to be very good. So it'll be good tomorrow night.
And we actually did not get to wrestle them at our regional duels. And so it's going to be good to get to watch them. I hope I'm able to slide back in here tomorrow night and watch that match.
Guys, we've got the 45-pound class out here right now, and Christian McCary is on the mat for Tallassee. I'll try to get you some stats on the kid from Reeltown. Good, that was a nice pickup.
And Christian's a 9th grader. He's one of the young talents, and he always does really well each year and been a state placer under a state qualifier the last couple of years as a 7th grader and an 8th grader. That was a good roll through.
That was a great roll through and a great reversal by McCary.
Right.
Our match is tied here at 2 apiece, and there you go. McCary just rolled him straight through. He caught the underside arm, and the move is called a tilt, Phillip.
Yes.
And rolled the kid right through.
And so now Christian's leading 5-2 in this match. And he's working to try to get him another move right here to either pick up some more back points or a pinning combination. The most you can get on back points in high school wrestling is on a 3 count you get 2 points, and then on a 5 count you get 3 points.
That is correct. That is correct.
It's a little bit different in the college ranks if people watch college wrestling. So
another nice double leg by McCary, Phillip.
yes, it is.
Another nice double leg.
So now Christian is up 7-3 in this match.
Well, and I got to tell you, it looks like Christian's ready to score tonight.
Yes.
He is looking for every opportunity, I believe, to put points on the board. He's got him set up in a double wing right here. This could be a problem for the kid from Reeltown. If he can sink this thing in deep.
I'm tell you, that kid from Reeltown fought through that.
No, that kid from Reeltown doesn't want to give it up, does he?
He fought hard to get through. Normally when you get a double chicken wing hooked in, if you can get it set, that one's hard to get out of. So at the end of the period mark, we have a score of 9-3 in favor of Christian McCary from the Tallassee Tigers.
I'm going to try to get you some stats on this young man. Pons, last name Pons, Omarion Pons. He's 11-1. He's ranked 16th, Phillip,
in 1 through 4A.
In 1 through 4A. And I got to tell you, he's quite the athlete.
Yes.
To come off his back as he did with McCary having those double wings.
I've seen a lot of kids stuck in that move.
I have
in my lifetime.
I mean, that was pretty impressive.
Yes, for him to power through that's hard to do.
It looks like McCary's got a single wing now.
Yeah, and he's just trying to roll him over and score back points right here.
And he's getting the back points right now. Oh, my.
And got the pin right there.
He got the pin out of the single wing, didn't he?
Right. With 1:19 left to go in the second period, Christian earns a pin right here against a young man from Reeltown.
Got Will Lackey coming up next.
152-pound weight class.
At the 152-pound class. He's got a junior from Reeltown, Aiden Dunn. No, excuse me. I think it's Colin Carlton.
Let's see if Will can end on a good
Oh my goodness! What a
Good match
fine headlock right there by Lackey. He's getting back points right now, Philip. He got the two for the.
He had him stuck right there, but
Yes,
the ref was a little bit out of position right there.
Well, and that happens. Let me tell
no
you.
doubt.
Look, let me
when
tell you
they're
right
scrambling around
now.
like that, happens all the time. Very easy to do.
Looks like Will's settling in very comfortably here.
Yep. And for the people that's watched Will over his career, that's probably his favorite move, is to try to set up what we call a headlock throw.
Yep.
And he certainly set that one up perfectly, and he's got it dug in pretty good right here.
Well, I will tell you this: the kid from Reeltown does not want to give it up, does he?
And he did not. And so, but we're up. Should be up. Well, he didn't give him the takedown, Mark. So we only got 3 back points on that.
I didn't quite understand that.
Yeah, I thought we should be up 5-0 right now, but we're not going to argue with the score. We're up 3-0.
At this point, Will looks to be in complete control of this match, Philip.
Oh, there's the other 2 points. They finally gave it to him.
Yeah.
So now we're up 5-1. Will gave up an escape right here with about 37 seconds left to go in the first period.
Kid from Reeltown's in pretty deep right here, Philip.
Yeah.
He stands a chance to score.
Will's doing a good job of sprawling right here and trying to do a crossface, get around and get his back points, and now Will's trying to hook in a cow catcher.
It looks
right
like
here.
he's got it hooked too.
Yeah.
Is that a cow catcher or a cement mixer?
Yeah, it just depends. That's not a cow catcher.
That's an assassin, I believe is the name of that.
So Will picks up 3 more points off of the assassin move, and so it looks like, is he up 7-1? No, it's going to be 10-1.
I've got some clarification on our roster here. That is Aiden Dunn for
Aiden Dunn, okay.
Yeah, for Reeltown, yes. Like he scored another takedown right there, Philip, and he's getting the back points behind it. The Dunn kid needs to be careful here. There it is.
Will
Good
gets a
job,
pin.
Will.
So Tallassee leads Reeltown 12-0.
Fine job.
Fine job for Will. Good way for Will to end senior night on a win right there. Pick up a win against Reeltown, so that's good. We're about to have a string of forfeits, it looks like, right here. Jake DeBarda-Layton picks up a forfeit win.
DeBarda-Layton, Mason Bell
picks up a forfeit win.
Ethan Stevenson picks up a forfeit
win.
So that should put us at the 95 class. Is that correct?
Yeah.
No?
Well.
No, that's going to put us at the 220,
well,
I believe.
Here comes 90.
Yeah.
Well,
here comes 95 and 220. Apparently our 95 was belated and returning to the mat.
Right. Trace was back there celebrating senior night. And
that's a good point.
You got to check in, Trace.
The referee is doing a fine job.
Now we're at 220.
Now we're at 220.
And we're about to have Austin Gray. This is his first match on the night. He is a young man that's in the 10th grade. Also wrestling 220 tonight. And Mark, if you'll give us some updates on Reeltown's 220 guy.
The kid from Reeltown is Pons, LeBron Pons, and he actually made state. He's 15-3 on the year, guys, and is actually ranked 6th in the state at 1 through 4A, in the 1 through 4A class.
He was handing out candy before the match out there to everybody, I think.
I seen that. I remember this young man from last year, Mark. I don't know if you do or not. What grade's he in?
He is a senior.
He is a senior.
Yes, sir. He is a senior.
I remember this young man from last year, and he was pretty good last year.
Well, he actually went to state and won a couple of matches.
Yes,
oh,
he did.
My goodness.
And that was when it was 1 through 5A.
Yes, 1 through 5, yes. Sure was.
So he'll have a chance to do good things in 1 through 4A, I believe.
I mean, he's a top 10 wrestler in the state, Philip.
So, and if you can get in that top, if you're in that top 10, you got a chance.
You certainly do. You certainly
got a chance.
You certainly do. We've got a heavyweight coming out here. And I think this is a Rumbelow kid from Reeltown, a sophomore. He's about 500 on the season.
And we got Jatwan wrestling for Tallassee.
That's exactly right. I'm going to try to get you some stats on Jatwan.
Now, Jatwan's a young man, too. He's only about 9th or 10th. He's 9th grade because he's wrestled some this year on the JV team. So, good to get some
Jatwan played ball for us, you remember, a few years back. He was smaller then, wasn't he?
Jatwan's grown up into a full-grown man.
Yeah, I didn't recognize him. I hadn't seen him in a while.
Yeah, that's Jatwan.
Jatwan is a freshman, Philip.
That's right.
He's a freshman, and he's 0-1 on the season.
He's fairly new to the sport, too.
Yeah.
He started wrestling, I think, last year maybe as an 8th grader. Not sure if he wrestled as a 7th grader, but it's good to see some of these young guys coming out that's never tried the sport before, coming out here and giving it a run. He's currently leading right now, 2-0.
That's exactly right.
Got a takedown early on in the match right here.
Takedown early on, and to this point, he's doing a fine job of wearing his opponent out, I would think. The kid from Reeltown is struggling to come back to his base, Philip.
Right. Jatwan's doing a good job of riding his hips.
Yep. He's keeping forward pressure and not giving the kid anything for free. I can tell you this, with the size of those two young men, I would hate one of them to put me on my back.
No doubt.
It would be hard to come out.
Yes. I've always said that about the heavyweights.
Yes.
I don't want them to put me in any kind of penny combination. So at the end of one, Jatwan for Tallassee Tigers is up 2-0. So Reeltown gets choice. They're going back neutral.
And neutral being from your feet, Philip.
Exactly.
At the end of the period, you have a choice. You can go down, you can take top, or
neutral.
You can go neutral. Well, I guess you have a fourth choice too, which is you can defer your choice to the third period.
Right. If you win.
Yes.
Win the toss there.
If you get the first choice. There's another takedown.
Jatwan's got another takedown. Leads 4-0. Jatwan's looking pretty good tonight, wrestling for the Tallassee High School team.
He's got that half in. If we could just if we could get him to walk out to the side a little bit, I think he might be able to score him a pin right here.
Well, some of that's just due to the fact he's new to wrestling and he's learning and picking up on those little nuances of leverage.
Yep.
Is one of the things you got to get. And but Jatwan's doing really good. Got
there
it.
It is.
There it is. He caught him in a cow catcher.
That could be ball game.
Yeah.
There it is, Philip.
Jatwan caught him in a cow catcher for the pin.
Next, we've got the 06 class, and we've got Rutland Phillips for the Tigers.
And it should be Brody Ledbetter for Reeltown.
That's exactly right. And right now, Rutland's ranked in the top 20 for Tallassee. He's one of the kids that could possibly earn one of those slots at state.
What's Brody's record for Reeltown in 1 through 4A?
Let me see if I can't give you some stats on Brody, because he's a tough kid. He's been wrestling a while.
Yeah, he wrestled in youth.
Yes, sir.
I remember him from youth. Sure do.
He's a tough kid. Brody is 2-2 on the year, and he is in the top 20 in 1 through 4A. The kid from Reeltown.
Right. He got the first takedown. Brody did, and he's currently leading 2-0 right here.
And Rutland's trying to flip those hips and get back around.
Get a reversal.
There
right
it is.
Here.
He just earned it. How about that? Nice.
Good job by Rutland.
That's right. Nice move by Rutland right there. the Ledbetter kid, I don't remember if he made state last year or not. He's a sophomore.
I'm not sure. I remember watching him wrestle down at Garrett Coliseum in sectionals.
Yep. And I think Rutland's a junior for Tallassee.
He's a sophomore.
A sophomore for Tallassee?
Mm-hmm. Yep, he's a sophomore.
Look, a lot of things can be said, but, we've got a lot of youngsters' names out here tonight.
Yes, we have.
Philip.
Future certainly looks bright over the next several years.
I would think
got
so.
a very young team.
Yep.
Certainly losing 4 important seniors this year, and they will certainly be missed. But got a lot of talent moving up.
And you got to figure these young guys are they're in the weight room. They're doing all the things they're supposed to do. You got to figure they're gonna put on some pounds over the next few years, and that whole senior middleweight division that we've got going from 160 to 182,
right?
Or from 170 to 182. You got to figure some of these young guys are going to beef up a little bit and take some of those slots.
Yeah, we certainly going to have some young men to step up in those weight classes that you're talking about right there, that our 4 seniors are holding. 152 and Mason Bell's at 170, and then you got Ethan
82
Stevenson
and
at
95.
82 and then 95 with
Yep.
Trace.
Yep.
So there's 4 openings right there for next year.
Look, come off your back, Rutland. Roll through. Fine job. That was a fine move right there. And yes,
got 2 near fall for Rutland right there before the first period went out.
He certainly did, and he was an eyelash away from giving up a couple of near fall.
Right. He is leading 4-2 right now. What he basically did, Mark, is he tried a suicide cradle, and the first attempt he missed it.
I got you.
And he slipped on that suicide cradle and almost pulled Brody right on top of him. But then he reset and was able to hit it. So.
Well, guys, I got to tell you, this is probably as competitive a match as we've seen all night.
It is.
Look at Rutland roll through again, earn the other next takedown.
That was a good roll through by Rutland.
That was a nice roll through.
And Rutland's trying to run a 3/4 half
Rutland stands a chance to get
here.
some back points here, Philip.
Yeah, he's trying to run a 3/4 half on Brody and pick up some back points.
He's getting the near fall right now.
Right. Picked up 2 more near fall.
Yes, sir. He certainly did.
8-2.
He certainly did. He's hooked that leg. Be interesting to see what he does behind it.
He's
Here
trying
it
to hit a
goes.
banana split.
Yep. The with about a minute left to go in the second period, we're up 8-2, Philip, and Rutland looks like he's in control of this match.
He is. He is indeed. The thing about Brody, he's super tall. He's going to be one of the taller 106s you're going to see out on the mat. And it's just real. When a kid's that tall, it's hard to work cradles and things like that, pinning combinations, because they're so long. They have so much length.
Well, and it's a testament, because the really long kids like this have an ability to play defense.
That's right.
That us short, squatty people don't tend to have.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, he got his escape right there. So we're 8-2 with 20 seconds to go in the second period. And Rutland's just trying to post the hand out and try to catch the leg. There he went.
Worked their way out of bounds, so they're going to reset here in the middle.
3 seconds to go in the period, Philip.
This is where you don't.
Oh, goodness, he gave up the 2.
I was just about to say, this is right here where you ride out the period and don't give up no points.
Couldn't get it out of your mouth.
He didn't hear me.
Well,
he didn't hear me in time.
Well, next week, tomorrow night, we're going to let you coach. All right? We're going to let you fix this thing.
I don't want no part of it, dude. I'm going to leave that to Coach Mass and the crew.
It's called leaving it to the professionals, my friend.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy being a dad now.
Rutland's popping to his feet.
Yeah.
He's having a hard time clearing.
Right. This is where you got to be careful against a kid that's super tall and super long because it's so easy. They've got so much length to hook cradles and things like that because their arms and legs are so long.
Well, and you can tell the Ledbetter kid from Reeltown is seasoned because he maintains that wrist control.
Right. He's working hard on that 2-on-1 wrist control.
Yep.
What we call an arm bar.
Yep. Which won't let Phillips get the quick escape.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've got a minute left going in the third period here, and this thing is still look. We're 8-5 now, Philip.
Yeah.
We're 8-5, and this thing is still in question. Oh, nice move.
Nice reversal by Rutland
Nice
Phillips.
move.
Now we're up 10-5, and Rutland's working that three-quarter half again.
Yep.
Trying to roll over and get some back points.
Yep.
Now he's resetting here to try to get something else hooked in.
You know, and it goes back. There are advantages to the kids that are long and lanky. There are also some disadvantages, and one of the disadvantages to being long and lanky was it's easy to get high.
Exactly.
Which is what the young man from Reeltown just did.
He just got a good reversal. It looks like right here. If he can finish it, yep. Got a good reversal now. It's 10-7, I think. At the end of 3.
That was a good match,
yeah,
gentlemen.
Rutland holds on to win 10-7, so that was a good match.
That was a good match.
Really good match.
Tallassee's up 45-6.
Most wrestlers would tell you, Mark, they hate wrestling a guy way taller than them.
Well, I don't disagree with that.
I don't know many of them that want to wrestle a guy that much taller than them.
We've got Mason Ledbetter.
Yep.
For the Tigers. Uh-oh. A good roll through, Mason.
Oh, yeah, a good roll through by Mason Ledbetter.
He put him straight to his back. But look at this.
The guy from Reeltown tried to
my
headlock,
goodness.
and Mason Ledbetter rolled through for the pin. And so
got looks like we had a couple of forfeits.
Yeah, 120. Land bail for a forfeit at 120. We got Ethan Jones at 126. Looks like he's going to gain a forfeit.
He will gain a forfeit as well.
And then we're going to have Russell Phillips, who's one of our juniors on our team. Looks like he's going to get a match at 132.
I think the kid is a junior from Reeltown. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's Zach Salter. And he is 6-10 on the season. Oh, my goodness.
That was a good move by
That
Russell
was a
Phillips
great
right
move
there.
by Phillips. Great move by Phillips.
Got him stuck right here.
Oh,
good
my
job
goodness.
by Russell.
How about that? What a fine move by Russell Phillips.
Yep, good job, Russell.
The Tallassee 132-pounder.
Right. Now we're going to 138 right here.
Looks like we got a 38-pound match.
Caden Griffith.
Yep, he's going to get a forfeit.
He's going to get a forfeit.
Yep.
That might be about all the matches for the night.
And, gentlemen, I think that's fixing to wind it up.
Yeah, I think 138 was our last match because we started at 145. So Tallassee will win this one 75-6. And so Tallassee had a good show tonight, Mark, on senior night. Certainly would have liked to have had more matches, but as we mentioned earlier, everybody's dealing with COVID, and nobody right now really has a full roster. And so we just appreciate Beulah and Reeltown coming over and participating in senior night with us. And we certainly want to get Will Lackey, if we can get him.
Give him some airtime here real quick.
Yeah, you want me to go get him real quick?
Yeah, I'll go get him.
You got him? Okay, so Mark Bell is going to try to go grab Will Lackey and get him to come give us a few words for senior night. But we thank you for joining in, and we thank you for coming and being a part of our broadcast tonight. We certainly thank Tiger Nation for coming and videoing this for us. Thanks to WTLS and Michael Butler for putting this on and helping us with this broadcast and helping us to be able to bring this live to you. due to the fact of limited numbers. It's always good to be able to bring stuff live and for people to be able to see it. So we thank WTLS and Michael Butler and everybody involved to coming and to be a part of this tonight.
Yeah, and you know one thing too is Philip. Even though some people were able to see it tonight, some either here or watching it via the internet, we'll have this thing archived so you can go back and watch it if you missed it. And that's good for the seniors to have.
Right.
So.
Will Lackey says he don't want to be on air, so he's
he was hiding out, huh?
He's bailing out on us. That's
well,
why
you know, final match is tomorrow night right here at Tallassee again with Pike Road and Brutech coming in. We'll try to keep up with the winding down of the sports season. The basketball team's playing tonight at Beauregard. Their senior night is tomorrow night as well. Basketball. They'll be here at Stumberg tomorrow night on the campus. Appreciate everybody checking us out. Appreciate you and Mark handling Philip.
Yes.
And I do want to say this, too. We put this out there. We put it in the social media outlets. We mentioned it on the air. Lacey Brewer, she was a former cheerleader here at Tallassee. She is –
class of 85.
Yeah, she's battling COVID and been really struggling here lately. We mentioned that tomorrow being Friday, wrapping up a work week for many of you out there, that we ask you to wear your purple and her support and post your pictures on social media. Let's do that for Lacey tomorrow.
Michael,
I think she'd certainly be watching this with us if she could.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
She would be front and center.
All right, Mark, thanks again. Appreciate your help.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mark.
We'll see you. Appreciate everybody that checked it out. Thanks again to Tiger Nation. Philip, thank you. For Mark Bell, Philip Nelson, Michael Butler, and Courtney Thornton, Philip Beckham from Tiger Nation, thank you for checking us out tonight. Once again, Tallassee wins big on senior night, sweeping Beulah and Reeltown.